I guess that's what happens when someone's scoring, throwing dimes, doing the whole thing. So I get mad too.
Alcohol, right?
All right, so yeah, now we're continuing on with the game film. We got some good stuff right here, man. Starting off with the Warriors. Now, what do you think about Jonathan Kuminga so far this season?
Not as consistent.
Yeah, it's a weird thing going on with him. He had a nice game against the Rockets without Draymond Green and Curry there. You know,
Yeah.
he was okay. He was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of rescued them in the fourth quarter, had some clutch plays, but they played the other day and they won, I think, against the T-Wolves. And Steve Kerr, man, he had, even in a victory, he had some kind of he kind of had some choice words, man, at the press conference.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was taking shots at Kuminga, because we spoke on Kuminga early on how, you know, he's kind of fighting to get his worth, but at the same time the Warriors are kind of in this gray area with him. They're kind of testing the market. They're not necessarily diving in head first on the Kuminga train.
They want to see his actual value. That's why.
Yeah. But check out what Steve Kerr had to say on Kuminga after they beat the T-Wolves. Very interesting.
When you have Steph Curry on the team, you pass the ball because you pass it 2 or 3 times, the defense is scrambling, all hell breaks loose. So it's a choice. We can either do that and win games, or we can shoot, you know, a whole bunch of 15-foot contested shots in the middle of the shot clock and be a lousy NBA team. It's up to us, and we are hammering that point home with our team. Thank you.
But yeah, right there, he was talking about I'm pretty sure he was talking about Kuminga, because we're gonna go over the game film now of that exact game, and also the game in which he was cooking without Draymond and Steph being there, which was really, really good. He had a really good game, but a few things still popped out regarding to him kind of taking these shots. But, you know, first we're going to start off with what Kerr was stating in that exact game. So right here in transition, man, it's something about Kuminga just trying to navigate off a pick. He doesn't really know when to pull up or when to take it, but for some reason he goes right at Gobert right here. This is a tough shot. This is something that Kerr is talking about right there. And just looking at it one more time. Yeah, it's real early in the shot clock. See, like when he takes this initial jab and just Randall kind of is a little late to step up, he possibly should have took the jump shot right here. Either pull up or just pass it out. It's so early in the shot clock.
Right here, right? Who is it? When Buddy Hield gives him up the ball at the perimeter?
You're gonna
I'm watching it. Where Julius Randle's trying to collapse at him, right?
Yeah, when Randall's trying to, like, when Randall takes that initial step back, he should have pulled up.
Yeah.
He should have pulled up, but it's still early in the possession. He could reset, but remember, Gobert is you know, he's a really good defender, low key, and he's a good rim protector. But it's just like
in the paint, he's one of the best.
Yeah, it's just like, look, he goes right at Gobert right here. He goes right at him. I think this is what Kerr is talking about, and it's 15 seconds left in the shot clock. This is a good one.
Because it seemed like a two-man dude.
Yeah.
It should have been it was a two-man game, which Kuminga didn't really decide to commit and create an open shot for another player.
Yeah, handoff from Looney.
Yeah.
And then one-on-one. It's still early in the possession right here, but Kerr does not want him taking these kind of shots. He's not really consistent enough taking these type of shots, especially with Gobert right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have Buddy coming off a flare screen. You still got Curry on the team. It's like you don't want Kuminga's just not consistent enough. Like what can
I think you have Gary Payton Jr. over here cutting to the basket too.
Yeah, you know, and it comes with time and rep. See, that's the thing about the Warriors. They're trying to maximize Curry's, you know, prime, and at the same time,
but they also want to transition into a new era.
Yeah, it's difficult because regardless, Kuminga's gonna have to get some reps here.
Yeah,
but this is definitely a tough shot on Gobert.
And you can tell the Warriors don't want to like really commit to a full-on rebuild because they keep guys like Kevon Looney, and like Gary Payton and like the team. You know, those guys only add to winning teams if we're keeping it real. I'm saying that it's fine that they're going on like I don't criticize them for trying to go on a mini rebuild while trying to like maximize Warriors and Steph Curry, Draymond, Looney, and Wiggins in his prime, so he can fork out a couple more years. But it makes sense why they're doing what they're doing. But it seems like kind of Kuminga has been caught on a crossfire. I don't know if it's because he came into the league with the Warriors kind of still having that core of the big three, along with Kevin Looney and obviously Gary Payton, Otto Porter, and kind of the veteran Andre Iguodala and veteran players, right? Where now it's changed and he didn't really get reps, right? So I think now he's required to really become the second option. It's a drastic difference in what 3-4 years of his career. That's like a huge change, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the best way to approach that is like the Golden State Warriors, but even then, Kawhi was a starter in the Warriors. He wasn't a guy who came off the bench. Kuminga, from what I remember, he
Oh,
didn't get much
you're
reps
talking about in San Antonio?
Yes, San Antonio. Because remember, Kawhi became a starter like what his third year, and that's the championship team. Way better than the Warriors modern day, you know.
Yeah, and then they weren't so focused on having two perimeter shooters like Curry and Clay.
No, the Spurs, like we knew the Spurs' best player was like Tony Parker at that point because he was the only All Star on that team. But you also saw them go out of their way to develop Kawhi, making him a starter.
Mm-hmm. But they still kind of played a team game because Tim was still effective. But then they inserted Diaw. Diaw was kind of like that forward center that could post up, make the right pass, still play good solid defense.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, like, Kawhi was still involved in the rotation of the team, right? Where he was, like, you could tell the Spurs were keen on developing this guy while going on his championship run with the Warriors. It's like they already had a lot of talented forwards. Like we already knew, like Otto Porter was like he was trying to rebuild his value up so he can get another contract, which he did. But he also dealt with injuries after getting another contract. Obviously, Andrew Wiggins, Andre Iguodala. So they had a lot more veterans, a lot more, and Klay Thompson coming back. So it was a lot of like that first year where they won the championship and Kuminga was on the team, 2012. I wouldn't. That's not a real developmental year. You know what I mean? I think this is like Kuminga's first year to really show off his potential. Where now he's not under the wing of like Klay Thompson and other guys.
Correct, but the only thing is that I don't think they're gonna give him the breathing room because they're really trying to capitalize off of Steph. Steph is still in prime form to bring him somewhere. You know, maybe not necessarily a championship, but they should be making playoff runs. But you know, it's their own fault. They put themselves in this gray area where Kuminga now kind of has the upper hand with the cards because he's a restricted free agent. You know, it's either they're gonna make moves and finally let him go, or they're gonna trade him in for a piece.
The thing is, who's giving up a piece for Kuminga? What the Warriors should have done, if they're gonna like maximize his last few years of Kevin and Draymond, and you know, how long does Looney really have? He has back problems, and you know, Wiggins gonna find another team, but it's mostly about Steph and Draymond, right? Your two stars, two guys who kind of become the corner of this San Francisco stadium. Is how can you maximize those guys? Now I think you could have sold the potential of Kuminga, but at this point we've seen the final product. Like I don't think people are gonna die for Jonathan Kuminga in the trade. You know, the trade value.
Well,
you know, I'll make an argument they dropped the ball on like Jordan Poole maybe, but I think Jonathan Kuminga. What's up?
Well, let's continue looking at the game film because one thing that always stood out to me is I'm wondering what does he do really well? You know what I'm saying? Like we'll continue looking at some of his film right now, but what does he do really well? And right now we're going to also take a look at him in the game in which he played against the Rockets without Draymond and Curry. All right, so Kuminga taking advantage of Connolly. And he just doesn't really have the vision. Like you said, Pod is kind of forming out right here. He's kind of wide open. You know, he has a chance to at least you know, Nas Reed still has to close out. He has some
And you see
space.
Steph pointing towards.
Yeah,
You see, yeah,
like you said, Steph is pointing towards him. You're right. This is what
yeah.
Steve Kerr is
And Nas
talking
Reed's
about.
giving him space. You
But
see the space Nas Reed has given him. Nas's attention is drawn here. Gobert's attention is obviously drawn here, and you know Trey. I believe that's Travis Jackson, right? Number 32.
yeah, that's
Jackson the
Jackson.
third.
Yeah, he missed him a few times. Later on, we'll see. He also missed him quite a few
But
times
Jackson's
too.
closed off of this possession, right? But also, you look, Anthony Edwards gave a lot of space to
Mm-hmm.
Gary Payton Jr. So he has two guys he could really pass to.
Yeah, but and he has a size advantage
Yeah.
on Connolly, so he could easily
Yeah.
do the Luka and jump up and zip this
Yeah.
right here, or zip this right here. Like he could easily just show as if he's gonna make the pass right here and then zip it right here. He's tall enough to
Yeah.
do that. But
He
you
can
know,
score over Connolly, yes.
but right now he's so focused on taking advantage of Connolly, he just gets stripped. And this is what you were talking about earlier when you said, you know, are they gonna give him the reps?
Because you see right here, the only person who gets who's getting attention on the defensive end is Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph Curry. Yeah, his what you call it, Daniels is gonna stick to him. He's
Yeah,
gonna stick to
McDaniels
him.
is sticking on Steph.
But at the end of the day, it's like Kuminga. See, this is why I said, like, what does he really do well? Because he's trying to eat right now. He sees, barbecue chicken in the smaller Connolly, but he doesn't even take full advantage of it.
And you see, like, Steve Kerr clearly is giving him enough freedom to bring the ball down the court.
Yeah, it's just he has options. He has actually 3 options because he still could take advantage of Connolly, but he is athletic enough in the middle where he makes good plays right here. He makes some really athletic plays, but it's just not consistent enough. For I don't know for what the Warriors are looking for him to be. I don't think it's consistent enough. Him making plays in this exact position.
What would they want him to be? I think, like, ideally, you probably want him to be like an Andrew Iguodala-like player.
Yeah, they do, but it's that he needs more reps because even this play right here, like you said, he doesn't even feel it out. He doesn't even utilize his options.
No, he's very quick to shoot the ball.
Yeah, he doesn't even utilize his options. I don't even think he's even looking at matter of fact, he is looking at Peyton. I don't think he's looking at pods at all. I don't think he sees it. Like Curry's is clearly pointing at him. But we're gonna get more
Curry's
examples
out of the
this.
equation.
Yeah, we're gonna get more
Curry and like
examples.
Travis, even what was it, Jackson the third? He's closed off the possession at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The best option would have been to pass to a pods.
I'm gonna do one more from this T-Wolves game. So yeah, it's something about him either in the pick and roll, like even when he's not operating it, him as the roll man, and him even operating the pick and roll, as we're gonna see later on in the Houston game. He's not really. Maybe it's not enough reps. So right here, he has a nice drive, but he's going up against Gobert, as we know, defensive player of the year.
And Julius is distracted too.
Yeah, he could just easily bait him in and then pass out to Jackson Davis.
Yeah.
It's kind of bait Rudy and then pass it out.
Jackson could cut in the the dunk lane,
Yeah, but he just
the dunk spot.
He straight up challenges Rudy on this and takes a real tough layup. Like, these are the things that Kerr is talking about. And then we'll go over more pick and roll here with Kuminga and see how he operates on that. So right here, Kuminga off this pick and roll. Brooks goes under. So either he's going to pull up, which is kind of too late. Brooks kind of maneuvers through this screen good. Or he could utilize this empty space right here. Like, this is what I mean. He needs more reps running these pick and rolls. See, look at Brooks all over him.
He could have went left, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really have the space to bounce it, right? He should thread the needle. But he could utilize this empty side right here. He doesn't. He just decides to go straight up against a Şengün. And Şengün, he plays like a fucking big. Let me replay that again. Yeah, that was a bad attempt, and there was what 12 seconds left in the shot clock.
Yeah.
You know, even if he had to reset, he could have just reset. But maybe Kuminga is just too overzealous.
I mean, it seems like rookie mistakes, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but how many years is he in? He's been in the league for a good
4
minute
years.
now. So here's
Man, that would have
Kuminga.
been a good Wiggins pass.
Yeah, Wiggins right here. I mean, not Wiggins. Kuminga dribble handoff, and yeah, he
Yeah.
kind of gets caught right here in the air. Still not good at operating the pick and roll yet. See, he's caught in the air right there and just puts up a really bad pass against Şengün, and he ends up fouling Fred VanVleet. Yeah, it's just.
He extends the arm.
Yeah, he got called for the foul right there.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, Steve Kerr is pissed.
No, he tries to throw a lob. Hey, Kuminga's problem is IQ. I think that's just why he struggles to find some shots, and even he struggles to find some shots and kind of find his teammates.
Here's some more of him in the pick and roll. So Kuminga right here, operating the pick and roll with Looney, and a little cross action right here between Pods and Buddy Hield, and he misses Pods eventually right here because a man kind of gets under this screen. He still had an opportunity to pass it out to Pods, and sometimes he could utilize Looney a little bit more. He could have took another dribble back in. He could have baited a man to come this way and then go back to the right so he could have a more open shot. But maybe he just doesn't have the patience.
But you also look at how many defenders he's drawing in too, bro.
Yeah, he's drawing a lot of coverage.
Yeah. So that's an easy pass for like a Pods cut too. Look at Pods; he gets all that land to himself.
True, yeah, because he got the rookie on him right now. You got Shepherd,
Yeah.
So yeah, Pods, yeah, could probably sneak one, a little back door behind him. But Amen closes this out real fast. You know that.
Yeah,
He's gonna contest
but
that.
for a guy who demands that much pick and rolls, he's very quick to get a shot off. You'd expect him to be able to milk out the shot clock a lot more.
Yeah, again, and that's an ongoing theme right now because a lot of these possessions end with about 12 seconds left in the shot clock to about 16.
Because look how much space he has on the right hand side.
Yeah, he's just not utilizing the spacing and taking advantage. You know what it is with Kuminga, because Kuminga, he did come up with G League Ignite. These guys, they just didn't really have to. They played too much showcase basketball. They didn't really have to think about the game in this type of way.
But look how much space he has on the right hand side of him.
Yeah, but here to give up his dribble, and that's the thing. He kind of gives it up, operating these pick and rolls pretty quick. It's like not only he's not patient enough to wait it out, he's giving up his dribble a little bit too fast, and he's not utilizing the open space next to him. He's not really utilizing that. He has more space to the right of him, and in the previous play we looked at, he had more space going towards the baseline on the right side. He didn't utilize it. He went straight up with Şengün. But like you said before, that he needs more reps.
Yeah. But I don't know if the Warriors is a place for him to get reps.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if any teams are willing to give him reps.
You mean not give him reps at that $40 million or $50 million price tag that he's looking for?
Yeah. If it was a reasonable price, they'll give him that reps.
Yeah, that's a really heavy toll. But the Warriors are betting on that.
Yep.
And again, okay, so Kuminga, he has an opportunity to pull up because Amen goes under the screen, but he's not really utilizing the screen like you said.
Bro, what's the point of setting him a screen?
Yeah, and instead the ball goes off his foot. Yeah, he had a chance really early on. Right there. Amen is getting ready to go right under the screen. Pull the fuck up. Take another step, like in between. Like, you know how to play the angles, man. Take another step right here. See if Amen is fully going to commit to going under and pull up. But again, he's not really letting the game tell him what to do. He sort of already knows what he wants to do. Say that again.
That possession, the defense recovered.
Yeah. So okay, so a man did not go under right away.
Yeah.
He could
But
have
when he drives in, lets him recover on defense.
he could have did a crossover right here and pull it back.
Yeah.
He could have pulled it back right here.
For a good 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could have pulled it back, go in between the legs and pull it back, do like a James Harden. But the thing is, I don't think he's had enough reps. And today's NBA, man, I'm telling you, a lot of these teams, they're gonna have to either give these guys short-term contracts, as we've seen the Rockets do with Jalen Green, or they're gonna have to pay these guys. And then, man, it's weird because the Warriors, they should have never had Kuminga to begin with as a draft pick. They should have never been in that position. But it's a weird conundrum he's really caught up in.
Yeah, I agree. Because I just don't think, like, because they marketed him as a project, right? Because he came from G League Ignite, whatever. So now you're bearing the responsibility of him, like, developing into a fine player, because he's a lottery pick, right? So you want him, ideally, based off his draft pick, you want him in that conversation with Scotty Barnes, Franz Wagner, Cade Cunningham. You want him in that conversation.
Yeah, you do, but it's that he's playing for a team with championship expectation. That's really the only difference.
Well, yeah, I think like Franz has a lot more freedom, obviously, in Orlando. Cade Cunningham has a lot more freedom. Scotty Barnes in the Raptors are in a rebuild, so he has a lot more freedom. It's just different circumstances. So like, even Jalen had a lot more freedom too in the Rockets.
Yeah, he had it in the first 2 seasons, and then after that, when Ume got in
But
there,
once Ime took over,
yeah,
it's been a
that shit
change of
fucking changed.
directions.
Yep.
Yeah, because now the Rockets have a lot of a lot of players his age on that team.
Yep. All right, so looking at the play now, him operating under the pick and roll again. Smith Jr. going underneath the screen. He could have pulled up right here, but instead, he's gonna pull up for a tough fadeaway mid-range shot.
My thing is, why didn't he pull up after the Looney screen?
He's not letting the game tell him what to do, and I just think it's not enough reps. But this is what Steve Kerr was talking about. Because remember, he made those
That's a
side
tough
comments
fadeaway.
after they won
Yeah.
against the T-Wolves.
Bro, but I was calling. When you look at him, right? When you look at Kuminga, one thing I've noticed is he's an over dribbler. So
Yeah.
he's always looking to create his own shot instead of like maybe like 2 dribbles and pull up. Because a lot of these screens by Looney are good. All of the clips you showed me, they're quality screens. But the thing is, like, Kuminga himself doesn't know what to do after those screens.
Yeah, and Looney is no joke. Like he's almost like in the Isaiah Hartenstein kind of role, where he's throwing these good screens.
Yeah,
He's a
been
good
that
vet.
for the
He's
past
a good
decade.
vet. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. It's not like he's like a new player throwing these half-ass screens, but Kuminga's just not fully utilizing them. Yeah, so that's him operating out of the pick and roll. Now we're gonna look at some more of the tough shots that he took. So right here, 1-on-1 with Dylan Brooks. Plenty of time left in the shot clock. It's kind of winding down, but
That should have been a Gary Payton pass.
Yeah, it's just I know Kerr is pissed. 7 seconds left. This is a crazy fadeaway. This guy thinks he's MJ right now. But yeah, these are usually types of possessions you don't see from the Warriors. You don't see these type of shots getting taken.
Well, you also don't see like role players have this much freedom with the ball as much as he has it.
True, but even if they did, right? You look at guys like Buddy Hield, Podziemski, not even them get to take these type of shots.
Yeah. Because they're knockdown shooters. They don't really need to take dribbles, right? But this guy, like you see right here on Gary, like Gary's open, right? But Kuminga's insistent on taking that shot.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that again. Yeah, I don't see Gary open. I just see him. He's probably able to make a quick pass to reset.
Hold on, replay one more time. Right here, you see Jabari, he's kind of dozing off of him a little bit, giving him a lot more space. You could have reset the possession right there. Maybe like if Potts could, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why Kuminga thinks that he could
Yeah.
take Dylan Brooks like that in the post. He's
Yeah,
not
because Dylan's strong as shit.
yeah.
So like you could reset the play with Gary Payton. Maybe have like pick and roll action with him and Podorinsky to create an open shot.
Now
Because you
in this
have like 9 seconds on the shot
now,
clock.
but in this game, keep in mind, Draymond Green and Curry, they were out. They're sitting on the bench, like they didn't play this game. So Kuminga had more freedom. Now he did
Yeah,
play
that's what the
well.
Warriors want though. The
Yeah,
Warriors want him to be able to be like the third third ball handler.
they did, but in this game, he did make a lot of plays in the paint, a lot of athletic plays, and like in this type of situation. But it wasn't as efficient, but it did the job, and he actually helped the Warriors win this game. You know, especially
Yeah.
at the end, closing it out. But you know, he does make athletic plays in the paint like this, but it's really usually going downhill. But at the end of the day, he did have quite a few shots in this game that you're like, I wish he didn't take those. But this Houston Rockets defense is good at the end of the day. But this
I know.
this
Yeah, I agree.
turnaround jump shot, I'm pretty sure Kerr is not happy about this shit. Last one on this.
Yeah, why didn't he just go up with the three?
All right, so hold on. I replayed it twice.
Yeah.
All right, so the third time. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about it.
Fuck.
Oh,
That's
you're right.
he's open for the
Yeah,
three.
he's open for the three right away. He's open for the three right away. Wow, he just kind of. And he could have stepped. Let's just feel this out a little more. Pods, yeah, I thought Pods would be more open, but he's
Look,
not.
yeah, look, he's clashing on Buddy Hield.
Yeah, and
The
instead,
only concern now would be is like the Warriors' offense are set, right? Because they're in transition. But despite that, like he clearly doesn't care. You look at him; he's driving into the paint despite like Looney not being in the spot.
yeah, it's this. This is tough. This is tough. Yeah, he just gives up on that three. He just gives up an open three to take this contested shot.
But I also think
very
it's a
early
problem
in the
with
shot clock
over-dribbling.
too. I know Kerr's
Like-
pissed.
Like Kuminga doesn't have an off-ball game, right? And the Warriors have been predicated on having a good off-ball game,
Good
despite
point.
whether it's Kevin Durant, whether it's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. You look at even the role players, right? Barbosa, Otto Porter.
Yeah,
You
for
could
the
bring in
most part,
6 other
yeah.
role players. Yeah.
A lot of young players like on Kuminga's like kind of level with athleticism. They really haven't had to develop that in their game, and it's crazy. It goes to show you that G League Ignite, it really didn't help a lot of these guys, man. It really did not, and that was the NBA's attempt to have some sort of minor league system before these guys.
Yeah,
you know,
they countered
come
the
into the league.
NCAA's influence.
Say that again.
It was to counter the NCAA influence of the new leagues.
Yeah, it's it has not quite worked out well. But for Kuminga, you know, him operating out of these pick and rolls, it's kind of questionable. His decision making, him utilizing the spacing more efficiently, he doesn't really use it sometimes. It's like, what does he really do well? Does he have a good post game besides the athleticism? Does he have a good post game? Does he make great quick decisions? Is he a good pull up shooter?
Even on the defensive end, he's solid, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah, but is he even a consistent shooter? No.
Yeah.
Is he making great decisions? No. Out of the pick and roll? No. Is he even operating out of the pick and roll really well? No. Him rolling out of the pick and roll, besides him using his athleticism to get to the cup, is he making good decisions as being the roller? No. It's like there's not one thing you could really point to and say that he does well.
No. But I think the problem with Kuminga, well, I think the Warriors are giving him a lot more freedom, right? But like last season, grievances was a lack of role. And I think now with Klay Thompson gone, he's really given that responsibility. So one would hope that he would be able to step up with this newfound responsibility that he has this season. But I don't know. I think Kuminga is much more of a struggle. I think he's also one of the main reasons why the Warriors went out and got Dennis Schroeder for giving up a couple of second round picks. Is you kind of need a second ball handler, consistent one. And we see Kuminga. He struggled to kind of find his teams on the open space, struggled to create some shots for himself and the others. So I think a lot of responsibilities will go to Dennis Schroeder as time progresses.
Hmm. Now, just going to the back to the film real quick. Just again, him. What does he really do well? This is an open 3-point shot, and he airballs it. Again, it's just one thing about him. Just there's not one thing you could point at and say he does this real well. Now, off the top of your head, do you know if he plays really good defense? Can you say his
Nah, I
defense
mean,
is
I
exceptional?
can't really tell you I can't really tell you he's a great defender.
Yeah, at least for Wiggins, at times that helps Wiggins and the Warriors kind of justify his price on the perimeter. You
Oh,
know, he
Wiggins is
can
a great.
shut guys down
Wiggins
or
is a
just
good
annoy them.
defender.
Say that again.
Wiggins is an overall good defender.
Yeah, it's just Kuminga. You can't. Man, I don't know how these guys like. What do they say when their agents like? What do they say when they go to the negotiating table? Like, they just want a certain price because they were drafted in a certain area. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's just a number at the end of the day if you're not producing. But my thing with him, man, is like the Warriors, right? We're talking about the Golden State Warriors, and maybe they should have sold, maybe whatever, right? The thing is, they would have been better off selling the idea of they would have been better off selling the idea of Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, it's too late. It's too late. They should have been
Yeah,
did
of
that.
course.
They could have. They
They
could
should have
have.
done that the second they should have done that the second or third year. This offseason probably could have been a good idea.
Yeah, and it's too late because I feel like they already wasted at least 2 prime years of Curry, and they could have got something back already, and they could have been building off
Yeah.
of that.
Because Curry doesn't have that long. He's only 30. He's only 36.
Yeah, so it's not that long, and they're kind of just man. The Warriors, I don't know. It's like you said, they're playing 2 games at once. One game is utilizing Curry's prime. The other game is setting up themselves for the future because they got that new stadium, and they want to. It seems like they want to guarantee that when Curry's gone, that they have another situation right away.